Ooh, Galaxy Eyes. Now, what could be confusing about Galaxy Eyes is the back and forth between, is your card a Photon or is it a Galaxy Eyes? And we're playing this off against White Forest. Are you ready? Begin.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Toy box is going to be setting up to 2 toys into our back row, which do want to be sent to the grave to then trigger to reborn themselves. We're going to Sylvie, search our deck on summon for a Tales of the White Forest as we then activate to search for our LZ. LZ can send a toy to summon itself from the hand. As we send our Toy Soldier, summoning LZ to search for our Rusia, which will be special summonable. Toy Soldier on summon will add a toy box or a level 4 light from the deck. We're going to grab a toy box. As we now synchro this up into Rusilla. Rusilla on summon, sending the Woes to set itself up in the back row to grab an Esteller from the deck. As we now turn this into a Baron Deflor Omni Negate. We're not done. Sylvia reborning itself from engrave by returning back a Synchro. Rusia, only one with control. White Forest, special summon herself to draw a card by sending a spell or trap to then trigger the toy tank to reborn from engrave. To now turn this into a Diabel. Diabel would have on summon added a spell trap engrave back to the hand, but only if it had used a Tuner Synchro for its summon. Now, what is this field of disruption? You have Ash Blossom negate an interaction with the deck. Baron Deflor negate anything. Red Reboot can negate an impermanence. We're not going to really talk about that being a disruption. The Woes could summon a monster from the deck to then synchro with the Rusia, which will then flip the entire opposing field face down, non-targeting. And then the Diabel could turn herself into a level 10 synchro by summoning a Formula Synchron, which we don't play. You what, mate? What are we doing with the Diabel? No Formula Synchron. Huh. So I don't know about that being a disruption now. Ash negates. We're now down to double disruption. Call by the Grave, fingering that Ash. We can use the Baron Deflor if we want to. We chose to not do so. We're going to hold the Baron Deflor negate for something else. Silva book. So, but how do we double Silva, right? We Silva once, and then we have to get Silva back into the extra deck to then resummon it. We only play one Silva, and the Woes will be the Silva play to flip face down. We have Woes and Baron Deflor. Star Liege, Photon Blast Dragon activating to summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. To battle we go. On the attack, Woes, summon for the deck, synchro immediately into Silvera. Silvera is, you could spin her back on field, that's right. She doesn't have to be in the graveyard. So if we read this card, the Rusia, if this card's in the graveyard, target a White Forest Synchro you control or in the graveyard. I was thinking it was just the graveyard, it's also you control. So you could return her back and use Diabel to resummon her to flip the field face down again. So we will count that as another disruption, which we are also using the Silvera right now to flip face down. Baron Deflor negating the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. What are we negating? During the battle step, if this card is battling, you could target the opponent's monster, banish both this card from the field and that target. Okay. Negate and destroy. So we're supposed to Silvera flip face down. This actually declared an attack. Yeah. It was able to declare an attack, which otherwise we should have flipped it down at the start of the battle phase and not wait for the attack. You do have to have your toggle on to make that play. Nicely done. And now, White Forest, have your way with Galaxy Eyes. It is over. As the Baron Deflor wipes out the face down, Galaxy Photon Dragon, Toy Box setting up additional toys into our back row. Let's speed this up. As we summon a Stellar, discard a toy from the hand, summon from the deck to make a Rusilla. Rusilla on summon Photon Jumper, jumping onto the field to negate the battle phase. And just like that, we do not have lethal. I don't think we had lethal anyway, did we? Actually, Silvera was on field, right? Silvera giving us the double piercing battle damage onto the face down monsters. We now have Mech Knight Crusadia. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and then you also cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. And then if it battles a special summon monster, it gets boosted up. Let's continue to make these crazy plays as we make our Diabel. Diabel on summon, return back the engraved Woes to our hand. Let's now make a Baguska. Baguska is going to be negating any monster forced into defense by its effects, as Diabel will also flip the field face down. So we have Ash, Baguska Floodgates, Diablo flipped the field face down, and Woes flipped the field face down also. Yeah, 4 disruption plus Nibiru. We got 5. Galaxy Trance is going to try to summon from the grave and from the deck. A huge effect. And just like that, Ash, negate. Nicely done. As the Baguska forces you into defense as we turn this into a Soul Flare Dragon unaffected by that Baguska. We're going to return back and grave the Photon Jumper. And again, how do we stop this? The opponent declares an attack. You then special summon this to skip the opponent's battle phase, right? End the battle phase. You do have to skip your own battle phase the next turn. That is the downside. Setting up our toys into the back row. Baguska no longer a floodgate, so our own monsters forcing the defense will be able to make their plays as we now make a Rusilla continually being recycled back in the extra deck. As we now, Rusia, send our back row card to draw a card, but we were negated. Now, to not be negated, we could have been flipped face down by some other effect, like let's say a Book of Moon or a Daruma, as we make a Draco Berserker. Draco Berserker is going to be turned into a Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. And just like that, Photon Jumper is going to be negated by the Photon Lord. You will not be negating the battle phase. And get boost. Boosting to deal that direct 3,000 damage as we have follow-up lethal damage. White Forest versus Galaxy Eyes. Wow, beating you with your own archetype. Galaxy Soldier is going to be special summoning by discarding the Galaxy Soldier, grabbing our Galaxy Wizard. With the Galaxy Wizard, we're going to be tributing itself to search our deck for a Galaxy 100. Nibir's counting up the summons here. Photon Emperor from Engrave, triggering to reborn itself onto the field. Additional summon into the Photon Delta Wing. We don't even care what you're about to make. We are going to tribute off that field just like that, ending the turn. Now, we do have Curry Photon to stop lethal damage. Galaxy 100 beyond that play. What is this? Only on activation, we get to send from the deck to the grave, and then the other effects is essentially no good. We're going to Curry Photon early, but of course they have a Call by the Grave in hand to finger that Curry Photon. Negate. No protection from damage this turn. I am going to be interested to see if White Force can even perform lethal damage in one turn. Can they? With the power, we don't care. We're not going to stick around to find out. We out of here. You finger my Photon, I'm out. Let's go. Cyber Emergency, grabbing a new 2. New 2 needs there to be a Drytron on the field, and with the Drytron on the field, it could reborn itself from the graveyard or summon from the hand. Now, what's really good about this Ash Blossom is we just stopped them from getting a Drytron on the field. We're going to use Guiding Light on summon, reborning the Drytron new 2, which the Guiding Light can't summon other Drytrons, because other Drytrons do state that they must be special summoned with the effect of a Drytron card, but new 2, it's new. And on special summon, search our deck for the Ultimate Bright Knight, which will special summon if we control a Drytron. And we're going to grab a Drytron Fafnir, which will grab from the deck a Drytron Nova, which will summon a Drytron from the deck. So through an Ash Blossom on the Thubin, we're making good plays. We got Masquerina, new 2 rebornable since it was reborn with the Guiding Light, now making the Mu Beta. With Mu Beta, we're going to send from the deck the 5,000 attack ritual. We're going to tribute off Thubin from the hand to reborn the Zeta to grab a ritual spell from the deck. As we now activate that ritual spell, reborning the 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense by using our hand and the Xyz material of the Mu Beta to make our double monster negate. Just like that, we have a spell and trap card negate plus double monster negate plus Masquerina into a Little Knight. That is 5 disruptions, but we're not done. We're now going to be using the Meteonis ritual spell again to reborn from Engrave our 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense with the effect to send up to 2 face-up cards on the field to the grave, quick effect. That's going to be 6 disruptions through a Maxi. Can we play through this? And I'm not familiar with this card. What is this? During the main phase, this is a quick play. Target a Drytron or ritual you control, and 1 face-up monster the opponent controls. Your monster loses attack, and then you destroy the opponent's monster. Interesting. So we have 7 disruption with the card have not really seen be used. Let's see what's good. Circular, we do have up to 2 monster negates, which can be used separately, same time within the same turn. Negate. Now down to 6 disruption, negate and destroy. Normal, summon Ash, self-reflect, 5,000 damage. I think Frost is trying to surrender without pushing the surrender button. And he also wants to see, like many of you, we want to see what happens with this field. Now, there's a very small detail, but it's a big one. The new 2, when it reborns from the grave or summons from the hand, it banishes when it leaves the field. So what you want to do with the new 2 is you want to make it a priority to turn it into a Mu Beta so that you get it into the graveyard again for a follow-up play, as it will no longer be banished. As you see, it is now banished, but this is going to be our final turn very likely. Nightmare Phoenix on summon, discard the 1-for-1, take out the back row card. We still have the spell and trap card negate, and just like that, mate, Drytron taking an epic game 1 victory. The Renash Blossom still setting up 6 disruptions. Unfortunately, we have no hand traps beyond a decent, pretty good turn 1, I would say. Let's see what's going to happen with Springans, though. You didn't turn into Utopic Draco Future all the way. You just play, why didn't we turn it? Oh, we're gonna use the Full Armored Exceeds to turn it into it? What effect does it have when it's not the Utopic Draco Future, though? This states that if this card would be destroyed, you could detach material instead. At the end of the damage step, it does something. This doesn't really do anything. I guess we'll just turn it into a Monster Negate later. Why you would want to do this potentially is maybe dodging an Impermanence or a Forbidden Droplet on your Utopic Draco Future is what I'd be thinking. Now, the Sargass will be able to, if a material is detached from a monster, we could pop a card in the field, right? Yep, destroy a card, and return it back to the hand, that is. And then we have the Dark Knight Lancer, which will suck up a monster if an equip card happens. And the Full Armored Exceeds will turn into a Monster Negate. We have about, I would say, triple disruption, right? Triple, am I missing something? Negate, suck, and return back. Diviner on summon, send a Herald of Arc Light, as we're going to use Call by the Grave to negate the Herald of Arc Light from searching for a ritual, spell, or monster. Negate. We cannot use that triple tactics talent yet. To battle we go. Oh man, we are just begging for you to use something so that I could use my triple tactics talents. Really needed that Herald of Arc Light search. That is unfortunate. Let's hop into game 3. Drytron Nova, come forth and summon for the deck a Drytron New 2. This is a full 1-card combo, by the way. We are going to Ritual Summon into Maxi and Full Loss. That's a draw 2 for this summon. No, wait. No, Full Loss does not draw. This is summon from the hand. It's just draw 1. Damn, Full Loss is not doing well against Ritual. Draw 1 as we set up the Asterism. Return back the Meteonis Drytron. What is this Field of Disruption? I gotta read this card again. This is destroy a monster. Okay, it's a face-up monster. Destroy a face-up monster, negate a spell trap, negate a monster effect, and negate a monster effect. We have Quadra Disruption. Can we play through this? Aratama activating to search for a spirit monster to then additional summon it into a rank 4 Xyz. Well, we're going to not only negate, but destroy. Now down to triple disruption. Damn, that's it. All right, we do have Effect Veiler, which will be negated by the Meteonis. Reborn from grave, the new 2. Effect Veiler desperately attempting to negate that new 2. We have double negate. Why not, mate? Nope, we're not going to. We do have to banish from the graveyard in order to negate, which we could have done so if we wanted to. It just like that, 9,500 damage, lethal damage. Drytron taking the match.